You're watching the Coast to Coast Sports Show. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages. We're here to talk about some interesting things that are happening, big changes at Coffee News. We're here today with Alistair, and Alistair is going to take it away and tell us all about these wonderful deals that are going on.
Hello everybody. As Kevin said, I'm Alistair from Coffee News. We provide this little brown paper to a number of locations right across Winnipeg. Now, unfortunately, due to COVID, we were completely shut down about a year ago and had to completely redesign our marketing approach. So one of the things that we've been able to do is, because Coffee News is a relatively popular and well-known paper, we were able to get this into most of the major grocery stores right across the city. So it will be easy for you to find Coffee News in grocery stores now, as well as some restaurants and some of the other places that we used to be in. We're slowly building this up, but the response from people going into grocery stores, picking it up when they leave, and taking it home and enjoying it is working out really, really well. So this has been a great development for us, and it's a great opportunity for anybody that's looking to advertise with us, because if you're seen in Coffee News, you're probably going to be seen in a grocery store. So there's lots of people who will see your ad in any of the grocery stores we're located in.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Vin Robinson with the Coast to Coast Sports Show. I promised you last week that we're going to be doing things that are a little bit different on the program week after week. And this week has to be one of the most special episodes that we're coming with in a very long time. I happen to have a very good friend of mine here today. His name is Charles Farms III, and he's got a great connection to football with his days that he's played from amateur to professional. And we're going to take our time to get reacquainted with Charles Farms today. Charles, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm sure that where you are is probably a little bit warmer than where I am.
Most definitely. I'm down here in Houston, Texas, and I know from being up in Canada myself, beautiful country, but I know this time of year it's definitely cold.
Oh, that's for sure. Tell me, how's things down in Houston? What's going on down there? What's happening?
I mean, right now, of course, with the recruiting of high school football and everything, a lot of talented young men are getting ready to decide where they're going to go on and get scholarships and play football. We're a little bit disappointed, of course, because of the Texans and not being in the Super Bowl, but of course next week, with it being the Super Bowl, people are getting ready for that, and today was the Pro Bowl. So, people are just transitioning from football to also the Rockets, and looking forward to the Rockets having a really good season this year.
Yeah, sport has definitely been on the high side in the Houston area. I guess, one of the things that I found very special when we're talking about football in the past couple of weeks is an inductee getting into the Hall of Fame, a coach by the name of Jimmy Johnson. You have a strong connection with Jimmy. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with him?
Jimmy Johnson is a great coach. He's a great man. Jimmy recruited me coming out of high school, so I know him personally. He did coach me. I was blessed that Jimmy recruited me, and I had a chance to get a scholarship and to play at the University of Miami, and also get a chance to get a great education. So Jimmy is he's a special man. He's a special man. He helps you to be a better man. I mean, Jimmy comes at you with no. Jimmy, let's say he's real. I mean, he's going to make you work hard. The coaches are going to work hard to get you prepared. And it makes you not only better for the sport or football, but it makes you better for life. Jimmy had a few things that he helped put in our minds. We had a few things outside of the locker room that helped us. One of the things, all it takes is all you got. And another one was attitude plus effort equals performance. So I was blessed to be able to be around Jimmy Johnson. And he's still a person where I see him, he comes up, he speaks, and we have conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really a football family for life when you think about it. But kind of what you guys created down there is a culture. And I'm hard pressed to even say that there's a lot of NFL teams that was as talented as those championship teams out of Miami. So talk to me a little bit about that and the stigma that still remains with it years after the championship days.
I mean, in Miami, I mean, we had a lot of great athletes. It was a lot of great players that loved the game of football. But the way we came at each other, the way we practiced hard. We came at each other, and it made us better for the games. We were actually to where practices were harder than the games. We used to call games, say the games were like payday. That was the easy part of it. But it made us better. We weren't, nice to each other where we were, let's say, just being soft. It was about an attitude. It was about a pride. It was about winning. And that helped us be better. It made us stronger. And it's a brotherhood. It is a brotherhood. And you can't go out there seeing your brother giving it his all, and you're not going to give it your all. So, I mean, it made us better. And it made us very, very united. And united we stand, and we were ready to stand for anything. And we didn't really care. We had that bad boy stigma that was put up on us, but we didn't care because the way we looked at it, and the way I always say is football is organized violence.
Mm-hmm. There's actually a stunning stat that I was dumbfounded by. And looking at this stat, I realized that probably about 80% of NFL players happen to come out of the Florida area. And, some are made up out of Texas and sprinkled all the rest throughout the U.S. and parts of Canada that they come from. But can you touch a little bit on that? Why is Florida such a melting pot for the sport of football?
Well, first of all, it's a sunshiny state. I mean, the average year-round temperature in Florida is like 72 degrees. People love football. I mean, here in the United States, there's really 3 top states for football players, especially skilled athletes, are Florida, Texas, and California. I mean, because you have football, you have track. And I know here in the state of Texas, they pay a lot of money for different stadiums. You'd be surprised at some of the high schools and what facilities they have. A lot of high schools here have their stadiums, which are turf stadiums, right there on campus. And in Florida, I mean, you have the perfect areas. I mean, you could know when you say hit the beach, we have training where athletes are running in the sand to be faster, to be stronger. So, I mean, Florida's just it's a melting pot, and it's a great place for football.
Right. So, you touched upon it. You talked about the training facilities, the professional aspect, and that's going to kind of segue into this next question, which is, how is training and preparation today different than the yesteryear? That preparation, how do you approach it versus, I guess, some of the talent that's coming through today?
I think now, I mean, you have a lot of different facilities now for kids. You have a lot of different trainers. I mean, I try to mentor and train kids that want to train and want to work hard. So, I mean, you have the modern technology. You have all the different training facilities. Now there's a lot of different techniques that weren't learned back then. It was more so old school. Now they have that that opportunity. But the thing about it is now, do the kids really want to work as hard as we used to work? I mean, we used to run hills, which made us stronger and made us faster. But it's according to do the kids want to put in the work these days. We knew we had to put in the work.
Some of those training sessions and film and ways to prepare back in the day, it's a little bit easier to see the X's and O's today than a couple of years ago, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's so true. I mean, it would, I don't even know, the way I look at it now is what we would have had or how even it would have been if we would have had all the different stuff that they have now as far as the video and whatnot. For us, it was just old school film, which you filmed all the practices, and you looked at the film after your practices. But like I said, it's all about the heart. You have to want to do it. That's another thing we had at the University of Miami in the training room. If you were there taking care of injuries or you were just getting taped up or anything like that, we had a saying that was right there that was painted on the wall, and it asked you a question: what have you done today to help the Miami Hurricanes be successful tomorrow? But that's also a self-evaluation, because you can look at yourself in the mirror. You can ask yourself, what have I done today to help myself be successful tomorrow?
Right. And what you're talking about there is internalization. So, Charles, come on. I mean, as athletes, we all know that we had that one or two songs that we have in that track that's pumping us up just before a game. So tell me, what would you listen to get you amped up?
Well, for me, it was old school for me. So one of the greatest songs that came out was I was a fan of back with the rap game and everything, Eric B and Rakim. And one of the questions, how could I move the crowd? First of all, there's no mistakes allowed. When me playing defensive back, playing free safety, you know any mistake could cause a touchdown. So you have to be prepared. Another one, of course, was I ain't no joke. You know, so that's a confidence builder to where those were songs we listened to. Of course, we were really big with a 2 Live Crew and everything like that, Uncle Luke. If it was a night game, especially if we were playing Notre Dame or we were playing also Florida State, something like that, one of our rivalries, it could be Phil Collins. I can feel it in the air tonight.
Jamais oublié. Le 11 novembre, souvenons-nous d'eux. Un message du gouvernement du Canada.
Today our guest is Len Cook. Len, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Len, can you explain a little bit about your position and, in addition, where we are today?
Okay. Well, where we are today is we're at Assiniboia Unit 283 of Anavets, which is the Army, Navy, and Air Force Veterans in Canada. And I'm fortunate enough to be the president of the unit at this time.
Unit 283, so we're in Winnipeg, Manitoba. That
Right.
would suggest that there's 282
Yeah,
in the pecking order.
That's right. At one time there was.
Okay.
But our sister unit is Unit 284, which is in Steveston, BC.
Mm-hmm.
So we do go all across Canada.
Len, I'm very interested. There's a little bit of history here with the Army, Navy, Air Force. How do you defer from a Legion?
I get that question asked a lot, and I guess one of the things that I tell people, primarily the biggest difference between us and the Royal Canadian Legion is our age. Anavets, the association, Army, Navy, and Air Force Veterans in Canada, was founded in 1840 by a decree from Queen Victoria. So we're that much older than a Legion. The Royal Canadian Legion organization itself is. Basically, that's the difference between the two of us. We both have the same aims and objectives, and that's the care and so on of our veterans and our members. But other than that, that's the main difference between us.
Okay. Now, just to fill people in, what year did it take place that Canadian Armed Forces, I suppose, would have joined to move things into a different direction than where they were before?
I mean, as far as the growth of the association?
The growth of the association.
Well, of course, it was Army first, and then the Navy came in. The Air Force came into the association, and then the name got changed to Army, Navy, and Air Force Veterans. The Air Force came into the association in 1946.
Okay. Now, I want to touch upon briefly, because it does trigger a little bit of memories, nostalgia for the association itself. When were you enlisted?
I joined the Royal Canadian Air Force in 1965.
Okay. What do you remember about the day you were enlisted?
I remember I had a motorcycle at the time, and I remember I had an appointment set up at the recruiting center in Hamilton, Ontario, to go and finish off the paperwork that I had to do. So I was on my bike riding out there, and actually I was looking forward to signing up and becoming a part of the military at that time.
I assume that there's a lot of memories associated with the number of years that you've been involved.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why this association is very important, is it not?
Yes.
Do you have any advice that you might want to give to military couples?
Well, I know that from my time till now, there's been a lot of changes in the military regarding perception of couples and how families are perceived, and a lot of that goes back to the Military Family Resource Center for providing assistance to families in the military. I think from my point of view, what I would like to see with military families is that when they get out of the military, that they have a place to go where they can feel comfortable and enjoy the company of like kind. And I would recommend very strongly that they join our association, Army, Navy, and Air Force Veterans in Canada, or join the Royal Canadian Legion. Both of us have a lot to offer in our club rooms, and I think both of the associations are very proud of what we do and how we do it. And it for us anyway, it's part of our constitution that we provide club rooms for the gathering safely and of our members and our veterans. So that's why we all have our club rooms and why we try so hard to take such good care of them. Because they, as I mentioned to you as an aside earlier, we've gone a long ways from the old smoky, dirty, cheap beer associations that people thought legions and veterans clubs were. So I think we've come a long ways from that, and I think just our club rooms themselves indicate that.
Oh yeah, I mean, It's gorgeous in here. Absolutely gorgeous. I would have to assume that this is probably one of the largest in the country.
I believe at one time we were the largest Anavets in the country. There were some Royal Canadian Legion branches across Canada that I believe were probably larger than ours. But I think right now, with our membership, I think we are definitely one of the largest veterans clubs here in Manitoba anyway.
Pulling on the heartstrings here a little bit. What does this association mean to veterans? What should it mean to veterans?
I think it means a lot. Our association, through our conventions and through our Dominion office in Ottawa, and going after the politicians, continually going after Veterans Affairs Canada for changes to the benefits and so on of veterans. That doesn't happen by accident. And a lot of that was done with lobbying with the governments over bylaws and resolutions that were passed at our Dominion conventions over the years that helped improve all kinds of things for veterans. It also, as I said, it also gives them a safe place to come in and just come out and relax. And I think that's important for everyone to have that type of outlet.
Absolutely. Glenn, how has this most recent pandemic of COVID-19 affected the club?
It's definitely slowed us down. We were the first wave hit in March. We were closed for 13 weeks. We had to maintain closure. We were able to open back up again on the 22nd of June, and the people have started to come back in. It's slow. It's always slow for us anyway in this club. It's always slow in July and August in the summertime. Summers in Manitoba are too short, and people want to go to the lake. They want to go to their cottages. They want to do the summertime things. So we were always slow in July and August, but this year it was even worse. I think one of the main problems was that a lot of our members are seniors, and they were, I believe, when we opened up again, they were still a little bit concerned about coming out. So a lot of them stayed home for a long time after we opened. Some of them are starting to come back now, but we still have those who, because of for health reasons or because of their age and that type of thing, they're still leery about coming out and being out in public. The masks, I think, is helping. People are starting to understand more and more. And I think we'll start to see, hopefully, once this next round is done, I'm hoping that we'll see more people coming out and enjoying the club rooms and just enjoying being here.
Enjoy the new normal.
Yeah, whatever that's going to be when it's done, yes.
Why is it important to keep the doors open?
Well, I think we've touched on some of that. We need to provide a place for veterans. And I think that veterans clubs are finding it extremely tough as it is right now. If we have to close again, it's going to be tough on a lot of places. We're in an enviable situation with some of them because we own our own building. But a lot of places, a lot of the legions and a couple of the Army Navy vets clubs here in Winnipeg are renting their space. And if you are closed and you have no income and the landlord still wants his rent and you still have your utilities and so on, if those doors are closed, the chances of some of us not being here down the road gets huge. It's more huge all the time.
So let's talk about support. A lot of businesses, companies, association organizations are pivoting to an online virtual world. Is that an area that you have support? Do you see any future in that direction? Or are you at a standstill and searching for help?
Yeah, that's, basically, I think that's where we all are. I don't envision an online virtual Anavets. I'm not sure that that's even possible. Most of what we deal with our veterans is one-on-one contact and inviting people in and saying, come and enjoy yourself, come and see who we are, come and see what we have to offer.
There's a mural that just got put onto the east side of the building. Glenn, can you tell citizens, veterans, how to come down, where you're located,
Sure.
and see this gorgeous mural?
We're located at 3584 Portage Avenue, and right on the corner of Portage Avenue and Bedson is the YMCA, and the mural is on the east side of our building, which is easily accessible through the YMCA parking lot off of Bedson. We're extremely proud of it. It was done by two local artists, and Pride Winnipeg was involved. They've done a great job on it, and we did our official unveiling on Friday. And we had our Member of Parliament, Marty Morans, was here, and John Reyes, who's the military envoy, was also here for the unveiling, and we were glad to see them here, and we're very proud of it.
And notwithstanding that, there's also one other thing that I think that you should see outside, that people can get involved and provide support, contact, and reach out.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the flags that stand outside?
Well, we fly, first of all, the Canadian flag, and then we fly our association flag, which is the same as this one here without the Assiniboia Unit 283 logo on it. It's just the association flag itself. And then depending on what's happening, we fly the Manitoba flag, or we fly the City of Winnipeg flag as well. And we have, right in front of the flags, we have the Open Cross Design cenotaph that's been there since we moved into this building in 1991. And that's another thing that we're very proud of, is what we have out in the front of our building, commemorating our veterans and the war times that they served in.
So even if the hours have been reduced, nevertheless, you could still get in your vehicle, drive by, see what West Winnipeg has to offer. Len, short of anything else, I'd like to say thank you very much for taking the opportunity to give us some insight, history. We need to know where we were in order to know where we're going.
Exactly.
Anything else you'd like to say?
No, I don't think so. I think we've covered everything pretty well.
Okay.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, this is our memorial wall. All of the names and all of the people here have supported not only Unit 283, but also our association, either in Provincial Command or Dominion Command. We've had provincial secretaries, provincial presidents, members of the Provincial Executive Council. We also have, fortunately, 3 members of our association who were Dominion presidents. John Thompson, one of ours, the Dominion president from 2006-2007. We have these on the wall so that we remember them through the years. There are a couple that are missing here that we still need to get done. But this is another one of our Dominion presidents, Stan Stillwell, from 80 to 82. This is one way that in the unit we remember those that have served both the unit and the command.
You're watching the Coast to Coast Sports Show.